I really enjoyed Coins for Christmas. We have some really likable characters, really good performances, a nice amount of Christmas, and a really fascinating narrative. This was released in 2018. It's directed by Jamal Hill. It's written by Rhonda Baraka. I apologise if I'm mispronouncing that. And we have Atkins as Madison, Stephen Bishop as Alec. As I said before, the characters are really likeable. We have some really strong performances behind them. And Madison is a mother to two teenagers. And it's just before Christmas and the IRS has frozen her account. She doesn't know how she's going to be able to afford Christmas. So she takes on some odd jobs, namely driving in a kind of Uber kind of situation. And in doing so, she meets a famous football player. She doesn't know too much about sport, but she's aware of who he is. And she kind of suggests to him that he could actually hire a personal assistant because he's asking her to do a lot of running around. And she then thinks no more of it. But she does take up work as a kind of assistant, one of those companies where you hire people to do odd jobs for you. And the next thing she knows, our football player, Alec, has actually hired her to do these things, and he wants to hire her full time. And it's partly about how they help each other through this. Alec doesn't have the best reputation, and Madison is able to provide him with some good advice. It's not so much that she comes out with this advice, but just generally with her conversations with him. It opens Alec's eyes to new things and new perspectives, which is great to see. And meanwhile, Madison's teenage children are trying to find their own ways of making money and supporting their mother at Christmas, and it's really sweet. I think it's really motivational and inspirational, and it's not a particularly depressing narrative, even though the family are currently in a difficult situation financially. It's not one of those films that's completely heartbreaking, so if you want something that still is kind of lighthearted and a kind of an easy watch, but with some really great messages and moments of inspiration, then Coins for Christmas is definitely not a bad one to go with at all. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. The narrative flows really well. It's maybe not the most intricate plot, but again, that's part of the reason why it is quite an easy, comforting watch. It doesn't require too much concentration, so if that's the kind of thing you're in the mood for, it could absolutely tick that box. There's also a nice amount of Christmas in this. It's not overabundant. Now, I do actually like sickly sweet Christmas films, but if you prefer Christmas films that are maybe a little bit more subtle on the Christmas front, then this one might also appeal. So I think a lot of people could enjoy this one. I certainly did. I thought Coins for Christmas was a great narrative, loved the characters, loved the way the narrative developed, definitely one that I enjoyed, and I'm very happy to recommend.